Hi, good morning. My name is Libertad Gonzalez, and I'm presenting this case study on living with incontinence, wash needs of Tigray refugees in Gedaref, Sudan. In addition to previous studies carried out by Oxfam and others, this case study aims at deepening the understanding about the wash needs of people suffering from incontinence, and especially about the challenges to access hygiene items and other commodities in displacement and refugee settings. In Sudan, refugees fleeing the conflict and armed violence in Tigray have settled mostly in Kassala and Gedaref states. Rakuba and Tuneiba are the major camps for refugees from Tigray in Gedaref state. During 2021, different agencies, including the Red Cross movement, responded to the needs of refugees in those two camps. Despite the progress, the population is still under increasing strain to meet their basic sanitation and hygiene needs, especially vulnerable groups such as those suffering from incontinence. In 2023, Sudan Red Crescent continues with investments in hygiene promotion, focusing on the needs of those suffering from incontinence in both camps. These activities were preceded by an in-depth study conducted in November 2022. This is the study that we are presenting today. We started our study asking ourselves, who are those suffering from incontinence in Gedaref? People that self-reported to suffer from incontinence or caretakers that disclosed this issue about a member of their family describe the picture of a very diversified group of people. The group of people affected by incontinence is very diverse and is difficult to reach. It concentrates mainly among elderly and people living with disability, but it also spreads across a group of mixed age and sex. Older men and women, including women with menopause, a wide group of people living with disability and chronic diseases like women suffering from fistula or men with prostate cancer, women that have uterine prolapse, etc. Men, women, boys and girls survivors of rape and or suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and also children with regular bedwetting problems. How easy is to assess incontinence needs in camp settings? Incontinence is a problem that needs to be handled with appropriate care. It is not visible and it is a hard topic to talk about. Lack of awareness on what it means, stigma and taboo around the topic, and difficulty to identify and reach those who suffer from it makes this theme a hidden and difficult problem to tackle. It can be investigated within wider wash and health assessments with tailored and tested tools that include the right language and proper engagement with community members to identify those who belong to this diversified group. Incontinence is a sensitive matter that requires to be discussed in privacy, preferably in separate discussion groups or individual interviews. It is widely unknown by most of the population, so staff engaged in assessments may need to provide careful explanations without, of course, adding a bias effect to their responses. What are the needs of people suffering from incontinence? Are they addressed in these two particular camps? This study has found that displaced people from Tigray region in eastern Sudan experience extreme challenges to manage incontinence. They lack the right hygiene products and commodities, they lack sanitation facilities that suit their needs, and have no access to the right amount of water. Despite diversity of the group, they all refer to the same experiences, distinguishing between physical challenges such as the bad odor, discomfort, skin irritations and infections, etc., and mental health and social challenges the shame, the isolation, depression, stigma, and discrimination. Personal testimonies collected in the study are vivid proof of the suffering caused by this condition among those affected. This group also experiences lack of proper health care. Actually, the study showed that addressing incontinence requires integrated health care, mental health and psychosocial support, and WASH services at once to ensure dignity and well-being of this group. And that was not available at the time of the study in those two camps. What are the hygiene items needed by people suffering from incontinence? This study has found that standard hygiene kits alleviated in some forms the condition of incontinence in some groups, mainly women and girls at the age of menstruation who received menstrual hygiene management kits. Other groups, however, such as older men and women and people living with disability, had less access to essential hygiene products such as soap and detergent and absorbent pads present in regular hygiene kits. All groups, regardless of age and sex and health condition, suffering from incontinence reported the need of specific items to manage incontinence, such as washing and bathing soap, absorbent pads and adult diapers, urine catheters, handheld urine containers, and mattress protectors. Is cash and voucher assistance suitable for this context? This study proved that specific items for managing incontinence, such as mattress protector, adult diapers, urine catheters, and some of the items already mentioned, were difficult to find in local markets, in the camps, or in host communities. So a mixed method of in-kind distribution and cash assistance could be devised. Providing hard-to-find items through in-kind distributions, and also using cash intervention to cover the access to soap and absorbent pads and other available items could be the most suitable option. The markets within the camps and host communities are functional, and they have the capacity to supply basic goods for managing incontinence at any time. The concern, however, is about accessibility. Accessibility of groups of concern, such as older women and men and people with disability, would be a critical factor to include in the design of the market intervention. What is their preference? In this study, we found that in-kind distribution of items was the preferred choice of people suffering from incontinence, as they knew most of the items could not be found in the local market. They strongly ask, however, to consider their difficulty to access distribution points, standing in long queues, and bringing heavy hygiene kits back home. And they requested, of course, having some sort of regularity in the distributions. In addition to the access to hygiene products and commodities, what are other WASH services needed by this group? As for the topic of menstrual hygiene management, hygiene products related to incontinence, like we said, pads, diapers, bed covers, are present in the market in reusable and disposable forms. In this study, people suffering incontinence had no strong preference towards one form or another, but they highlighted the challenge of lacking solid waste disposal facilities when given disposable items, or not having enough water and detergent to wash reusable items. This shows that the selection of items is directly connected to the availability of WASH services, such as water provision and solid waste disposal in the camps. It is important to note as well that sanitation facilities are predominantly communal, therefore often crowded and too far from where this group of people live. Other sanitation solutions that offer the possibility to handle urine and feces at home, like potties, urine catheters, handheld urine containers, toilet chairs, were not available to this group at the time of the study. This situation highlights the needs for more inclusive WASH response in camp settings. With this case study, we hope we can bring more light on the WASH needs of a very diverse group that have in common a great deal of suffering. Thanks for your attention, and the team is happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.